Sparking Zero is a game, a really popular game, with a concerning amount of dairy infused into any console that downloads it. In all seriousness, I really enjoy this game. When I can.
No! No! I just fucking dies!
What's the game like, you ask? Well, let me answer your question with another question. How do you feel about backshots?
Fuck, you digging in me, you digging in me.
Oh, fuck.
You digging in a nigga, you digging in go ahead.
Now, in most fighting games, you win based off skill. However, in a game like Sparking Zero, you win off the character selection screen. So let's talk about all our characters here. Now, just like in any other Dragon Ball Z game, the roster is made entirely of Goku and Vegeta and everyone else. So I'll skip over characters such as Frieza Force member 89 and Naruto Uzumaki, which Bandicam decided to put in the game over characters we actually wanted. Each and every character has its different qualities, pros and cons. Each character is given 2 key-based moves and 2 skill moves, each costing a certain amount of key or skill points depending on your character's moves. These will do things such as allowing you to instantly teleport behind your opponents, give you a boost in your stats, win the fucking game, or play the game for you. Now, I'm going to give you my professional A3 rank opinion on this matter, and give you a deep dive into each and every single character. Now, in terms of 18% of the roster, most Goku and Vegeta variations are fairly balanced. These characters and their super versions are generally balanced to fit a more combat and skill-based gameplay. Features such as the Kaioken, Limit Breaker, I'll beat you in 5 seconds, and other boosting abilities are focused on making the player use their skill points to boost their combat ability. I personally think Super Saiyan Blue Goku is one of the most optimal fighters that requires actual skill, given the fact that it takes 3 skill points to get to Blue, and 2 skill points to use skills such as Kaioken and Instant Transmission. And for those who play the game and want to mostly focus on hand-to-hand combat, I would seriously suggest playing Goku Super or GT as a starting character. As for Vegeta, he plays more like a basic character, but his moveset is where he often excels. His combos are longs and can function differently from other characters in different areas, such as his blast attack and his god form. If one of his many blast attack hits, a unique animation will play. Also, his Limit Breaker ability is a power buff on an 8 DP character who gets buffed permanently for the rest of the round. Majin and 8 Vegeta I'll get to later. Ultra Instinct Goku. Who the fuck made this shit? Seriously, this is one of those characters that just really has no purpose being as strong as it is. There are so many qualities of this character that just don't make any sense. He has this one move that is a guaranteed hit if you're doing anything but blocking and does an insane amount of damage. And for some reason, just like any other character, it only costs 3 key bars. Who designed this? I'm sorry, I'm messing up my script right now, goddamn. This move is an instant teleport, a guaranteed hit no matter what you are doing. And unlike with other characters that have an instant teleport move that makes sense, it's 4 key bars. It's 4 key bars, not completely instant either. And the funny thing is, Ultra Instinct Goku is a 10 DP character. However, characters like Whis and Beerus can't do this, nor do characters like Hit who have 8 DP. And he is the only character who is like this, who has so much extra health for no reason. And seriously, does this make any sense? Raccoon is a 4 DP character who has the same amount of health as Fusions. However, a character that costs the largest amount of DP has extra health, instant teleport abilities, insane amount of damage. Like I get it. Ultra Instinct Goku is meant to feel like this incredibly strong character. However, it does not make sense to make me feel like I'm the fucking victim. I think the most ridiculous part of this character is that it doesn't make sense for him to be this strong. Jiren alone could destroy Goku, even with Mastered Ultra Instinct. Mind you, it took pretty much all of Universe 7 in the anime to beat him. On top of that, it just doesn't make any sense that characters don't scale higher than UI Goku in DP, especially with characters like Beerus and Whis. And especially given the fact that characters like Hit scale to around the same level as these characters. More on the DP system later. Characters like Gohan are kinda balanced. It's subjective. Super Saiyan 2 Kid Goku has an unblockable, which I'll also get to later, while other forms like Adult Gohan have a move that costs 2 key bars, which you can spam like crazy. given that he basically has an insta-sparking that only costs 2 skill points on a 7 DP character. Now overall though, most characters in this game they need some work. So many of these characters seriously have so many issues and so many creative ways to cheese the game. It makes sense why Bandicam is having a hard time to keep up, but I swear to God, some of these are so obvious. I'll start with the smaller characters and we'll work our way up into groups, and I'll tell you which characters I think need work and that I generally have a problem with. Let's start with unblockables. I don't know how this is still something that exists in the game. For low DP characters and characters that self-destruct like Majin Vegeta, this may make a little bit more sense. It allows these characters that have this major sacrifice to have a chance against high DP characters, but for some reason this just isn't the case. In any situation, this doesn't make any sense. 7 DP characters like Broly, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and other ridiculously strong characters who have a boost from their sparking shouldn't have unblockables. While in the series itself, the Spirit Bomb being unblockable makes sense, none of these other moves do. The only reason in the series that Teen Gohan Kamea would be considered unblockable is because it was used in a beam clash. I understand trying to give attention to detail, but I shouldn't be playing Super Saiyan Blue Goku and I can't be able to block this move from this overpowered toddler. Even characters as strong as Jiren have unblockables, and I'm serious, I get they're strong characters. However, not being able to perfectly dodge a move I know is coming at me and have more than enough time to block is actually mental, because more often than not, it costs you the entire game. Area attacks. This is for characters like, oh, my sweet mama Kefla and Raccoon. I honestly think this is one of the most problematic attacks there is, and I'm genuinely surprised this isn't talked about more given the new key system. But this is the worst thing given the new update. Characters like Broly, King Cold, Raccoon, and Kefla spam these moves, and it is definitely hard to counter given the new key update. More on Super Broly later. Using these characters, all you have to do is just constantly knock away your opponent and charge. And given the fact that you can't Z-dash anymore, because if you do, it's a guaranteed hit into these area effect moves, you will always pretty much die. Even if you perfect dodge, you can still get caught in these moves, and they're always going to be a major problem because if you're doing anything but blocking, you will get caught in this. Now, our big titty mommy milker Kefla characters can simply constantly use Wild Sense until they charge up into their ult and wait for the single moment you aren't blocking for a guaranteed hit no matter what you're doing, and the damage is massive. This goes for characters such as Broly and Raccoon who have super armor or just a massive amount of health, who have nothing to stop them from charging up and waiting to hit you with an area attack move. Now, I personally don't think these should be removed from the game, however, I do think they should be as easy to dodge as beam attacks. The fact that I can only do defense to be able to stop these, and the fact that I'll definitely lose a character if a single one of these moves hits is so annoying. And even if I outclass the opponent, as long as they charge up and get one of these off, I could lose a character instantly. Not even that I lose to this so often, but that I spend so much time watching the game and people are still trying to do this despite the Insta-Spark nerf. Wild Sense. This has probably been the bane of my existence since the most recent update. This move allows for pretty much perfect automatic zoning. If you don't know what this move does, essentially it allows you to move and hit a heavy knockdown attack pretty much automatically anytime you try to hit a character that has this skill active. The distance allows for charging up right after, and the low cost of this move lets people hit this over and over again. Although you can dodge this move, the timing is almost instant, and there is no way to know when it's active other than the fact that it costs 2 skill points. Even if you attempt to Ki Blast spam this move, it can be used offensively as well. Unlike After Image Strike, you don't go after the person and be like, oh, they have After Image Strike, let me play accordingly. It's, oh, they have Wild Sense, let me spend 20 minutes flying through the fucking air. For me, a fix to this would just be upping the amount of skill points it cost, or making the time for this attack slower, or showing that the skill is activated, or just not having it be a hard knockdown. Now that you know the 3 major skills that cause character imbalance, let's talk about the characters who fuck this shit up the most. Starting with fucking Broly! Broly is simply just the king of back shots. Probably the worst decisions in games design to ever be made. Bandy, we get it. We know who your favorite two characters are. It's anyone with fucking green hair and massive man titties. Broly has probably the most ridiculous buffs in this game that genuinely tend to make zero sense. He has super armor, area attacks, and unblockable. He gets a full key gauge after each transformation, and on each version of him, his instant sparking gives him more super armor. This shit doesn't scale to DP, and to most characters, it doesn't fucking matter if you hit his super armor. If you are doing anything but blocking, you are going to die. It's honestly crazy that this character has been a problem since day one and still hasn't been nerfed. This is Bandicam's favorite character, right next to him. Now, I'm going to talk about fusion characters in a whole just to cover this one character. Fusion characters are really strange. Sometimes I fight them, I'm like, that's completely fair. Other times I'm like, okay, this makes some sort of sense. Other times I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I think fusion characters are a bit unreasonable. 3 key bars results in a movie-length attack that results in ultimate level of damage. And many fusions have skills or abilities that should not be given to a fusion character, such as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's speed or Vegeta's full power. Having a character who starts with 7 DP and can reach 10, having extra health, and seriously, the amount of times I've fought of Gogeta just for them to have basically a full team is fucking insane. There are so many 7 DP characters who deserve a health boost and just don't have it. And I want you to guess what 7 DP character does have this boost. It's Broly. It's fucking Broly. Otherwise, a lot of these categories don't really make sense. I think it's really stupid that some of these characters cost the amount of DP they do without considering team composition and also their place in the power scaling in the actual anime. On top of that, many characters such as Raccoon just having a random health boost and certain powers that make them really strong and imbalanced in the game for no reason baffles me. The only character group that is actually okay is androids, funnily enough. Oh, and my sweet mommy Android 18, respectfully. I really love how androids work in this game, and so far I think they're incredibly optimal despite the new update. They're great for constantly pressuring and countering most characters. And that pretty much is the only characters you should be worried about. The only thing else I could think of is giant characters. I don't know how the fuck they did this! Giant characters in Sparking Zero are probably the worst thing to ever exist. These characters had to be designed specifically and actually for back shots. I'm serious, there is no kind of character who gives more violent, pelvis breaking back shots than I want to give Kefla since day one. These characters have been given nothing but straight meat in the rear and insta-sparking to finish inside you with a giant blast. Bandicam, do I even need to explain what's wrong with this?
Delete this shit!
Please add bikini skins to Android 18.